Hey everybody, it's Jason Calacanis. This is a launch ticker breaking news story brought to you by our friends at Bing. Thanks for sponsoring the program. So Tesla is gearing up for self-driving cars, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that today. Elon Musk on Twitter tweeting that he wants engineers interested in working on autonomous driving to please email him at autopilot@teslamotors.com, and the team, and noting that the team will report directly to me, and me being Elon in that case. So pretty amazing that Tesla's getting into this. Not unexpected, obviously. People have been speculating about it, and he's actually brought it up before in interviews. So it's been in the works, but he's getting out there and actually recruiting technologists to work on this and asking them to report directly to him. So obviously he sees a huge opportunity in self-driving cars. And so we're going to talk today about self-driving cars. So what exists today? Obviously, almost all cars have these backup cameras in them so you can see what's behind you. In fact, I think that's going to be mandatory soon. Backup sensors as well. You know, no more running over pets in the driveway, and no more dents when you're backing into a parking spot. Parallel parking assist is a very clever one that some of your friends might have in their Toyota Prius. Let's just take a quick look at that video. And so, as you can see, you press the button and it starts parallel parking you, and you can actually move the box around that your target is supposed to go in, and you move it up and down, and then you press the button, and your car parks there. Now, I would never use this parallel parking assist. You'd have to be a really bad driver to need it. But it is clever, I guess. I'm not sure I would want it, or many people would want it. And it's sort of like part of the tradition of learning how to drive is learning how to parallel park, but it does exist. Auto braking is tremendous and awesome. Car in front of you is slams on the brake. You're maybe not paying full attention or checking your email. Please don't do that when you're driving, but people do it here in LA all the time. And it auto brakes for you, and then you don't have the fender bender. In fact, there's a lot of third-party kits I'm seeing on Lincoln Town cars and cabs where it actually shows the number of feet between you and the next car, and it starts beeping, you know, more gently and then increasingly in tone, and then by the time it's in the red zone, it starts screaming, so cab drivers don't bump into each other. So I've been seeing those third-party alert systems often. Lane assist is amazing. So when the driver starts to drift out of the lane, it either gives them a warning or it actually changes the steering wheel and pulls them back into the lane. Adaptive cruise control is absolutely fantastic. You know, knowing the car in front of you slowing down, but not slamming on the brakes, but maybe taking you from 70 miles per hour in your cruise control down to 60, and then speeding you back up when the congestion is alleviated. Volvo's camera and radar driver assist system is really some of the state of the art that's out there. Let's take a look at that video.
Road edge and barrier detection with steer assist is a unique world-first technology from Volvo, where we use, again, advanced radar and camera technology in order to monitor the road's edge or barriers. And if the car senses that it's drifting towards the road edge or towards the barrier, then the car will actually steer itself back into the lane, assisting the driver to stay on the road.
Which is, that's absolutely fantastic, right? I mean, people getting back in their lane, perfect. You'll reduce a lot of accidents with that. So what's in development? We've all seen the Google self-driving car, which is very expensive, and but it has, I think, 300,000 miles have been driven on it so far. That was the last reported number of miles driven with it. Let's take a look at that video.
A scanner on top of the car uses 64 lasers to send out pulses of light. It measures the time it takes for the light to hit an object and come back again. Then it knows how far away things are. Another system in the boot measures acceleration and rotation around the 3 axes of the car and combines this with GPS to estimate the vehicle's position. Oh my God. All that information, along with data from onboard cameras, is processed with tremendous speed by the software. That way, the system can make decisions very quickly and controls the steering, acceleration, and braking within.
So there you have a Google self-driving car. You've probably seen it. Obviously, a lot can go wrong with that car as well, with the lasers and just how much information it's processing, and it's wildly expensive. We'll get into that later. Now, what Tesla's aiming for is slightly different. They want to do autopilot, and Elon has said in a lot of interviews he thinks the naming of this feature is one of the barriers to people adopting it. So a self-driving car means like you're not a good driver, you need a self-driving car, kind of emasculating in a way. Clicking the autopilot button, well, that's what pilots do, and that's kind of cool and groovy. Like, hey, yeah, I'm ready to take a break. I'll let the computer just do a little bit of flying for now. So autopilot is what he wants to do, 90% self-driven car by 2016. And Nissan plans to have a self-driving car, they claim, by 2020. I doubt, actually, Nissan or Toyota or any of these other car companies have any chance of participating in a meaningful way in this. I think this is going to be a two-horse race between Tesla and Google. And, I predict Tesla's going to win it, actually. I don't think Google's going to be able to get the cost down. And I don't think that people want, in the short term being under 10 years, a completely self-driving car. I think they want the autopilot. So I know that there has to be like sort of a bridge between these two things, and Tesla's, I think, is the perfect bridge to actually get to market. So what's in development? BMW is testing this for highway driving. Mercedes, GM, and Volvo all have self-driving cars in the works. Even DARPA, the Defense Research Agency, is looking into these self-driving cars for the battlefield, which would be amazing if you just think about Black Hawk Down or any military movie where going in and extracting soldiers would be difficult. It'd be sort of awesome to send in a Humvee to pick up somebody who's behind enemy lines. Pretty neat. So the benefits are many, and of course safety is the number one reason we should get these cars on the road as soon as possible. Even if these things make mistakes once in a while, they're going to make a heck of a lot more mistakes than the people I see every day driving up the 405 home here in Los Angeles. People are very distracted. Humans only have a very short range of motion. Their reaction times are very slow. These cars are going to save countless lives, especially with drunk driving added to the mix, or young drivers or very old drivers. Safety is the number one reason. Now, we're also going to get a more daily benefit that we'll see, which is less congestions when cars can drive very close together at moderate speeds. And so this idea of daisy chaining the cars and 5 cars going into the right lane, and the cars knowing they're all getting off at the same exit, so they all, come out of that lane at the same time, and they don't interrupt the other lanes of traffic. This stuff, it can get really wild in terms of efficiency. And you just think about how inefficient it is, even when 2 lanes merge down to 1, or people are trying to get off the exit ramp. You see these people who change lanes constantly. All that nonsense is going to go away. The cars are going to run much more efficiently. We could solve a lot of our congestion problems, not with building wider roads, but just using the roads we have more intelligently, and computers are going to do that great. Better fuel consumption is a layup, super easy to achieve that, because you can have cars driving right behind each other in a chain, which reduces drag in a big way, and you're also going to have them driving at a very consistent speed, as everybody knows or should know. When you use cruise control, you use less gas, and it's more consistent usage of that gas, as opposed to when you're slamming on the brakes and hitting the gas really hard. Free time is going to be a huge benefit for society. Just think about all the time we waste in cars that now could be used for sleeping or working, eating, or spending time with our kids. And one of the mind-blowing ones is less time spent looking for parking. When you have a self-driving car, you're going to drive right up to Costco or the movie theater with a minute to spare before the show starts, and just hop out, and the car is going to go park itself in the parking garage. What an awesome, awesome feature that's going to be, and it's going to happen in our lifetime. 10 years from now, we'll probably be doing that. Now, what are the legal issues here? We don't know, actually. There's going to be a lot of lawsuits when these things inevitably make mistakes. And who is going to be responsible? The human driver, the robot in the car, the person who made the technology, the software, the manufacturer of the car, the person who chose to engage the autopilot. Nobody knows, really. And, there are some states that are already leading the charge to get this done. Not surprisingly, California and Florida, which have major traffic problems, but also Nevada, which is a pretty loosey-goosey state if there ever was one. So they're allowing people to test these things. They require, in Nevada, a $1 to $3 million bond. And I believe Nevada is where a lot of the Google testing is occurring. So who's going to own the market? There's no secret. I'm a huge Tesla fan. I don't own any stock in the company anymore, but I did for a little while. And I think Tesla has the right approach, which is, in certain circumstances, hitting autopilot is going to be awesome. I don't want the car to drive itself all the time. And I think Google, they obviously have a huge head start. They've put a lot of miles into this. But the price point of Google's product is hundreds of thousands of dollars currently, and some people say 100, some people say 250,000, and it'll probably be a feature that if with Google's system, that might add $10,000 or $20,000 in that ugly looking radar thing to the top of your car, which also causes a lot of drag. So I think Google's, got a little bit of time before that happens. Nissan promises reasonable prices, but no specifics. Again, I don't think Nissan or Toyota or any of these people are going to play a meaningful role in this. But boy, it's going to be interesting when much older drivers and younger drivers can start driving, essentially, or using cars. They're not really driving, they'll be using cars. So when kids want to go to the movies or they want to go to the dance and they're 12, 13, 14 years old, they can go. And they can get picked up, and it's all set it and forget it. And older drivers, people, we have this big problem here in California, and certainly other cities have it as well, of 70 or 80-year-old people, sometimes 90-year-old people who still want to drive. They can't give up their cars. There's a lot of pride involved in it, but they shouldn't be driving. You've seen these people. They just are not, in the position where they should be driving. And so this will allow those older folks to drive again, as it were. Some predictions in the next 10, 20, 30 years. Well, I think people are not going to own cars in large part. They're going to share them. So this concept of sharing cars will be awesome. Perhaps you get dropped off if you're one of the 10 people in the world who owns cars, 1 out of 10 people. Maybe when you go into the restaurant, your car then goes and picks somebody else to go to their, date night. And, your car goes and does 3 or 4 trips. And when you come out, you just click a button and say, I'm ready to go home, and your car comes back to you. So Uber obviously will be involved in this in some way, sending driverless cars to shuttle passengers around cities. Amazon delivering same-day products in an automated car is a huge win. And Amazon and other folks, even Google, have started same-day delivery services. Well, those same-day delivery services are anticipating self-driving cars. So Google has a same-day delivery service they're testing, and Amazon has that as well in a couple of cities. And you also have TaskRabbit and Postmates in some cities. Those use messengers, right? But imagine your doctor sends in a prescription for your heart medicine or antibiotics, and you see the car coming from the Walgreens pharmacy to your house, and when it's 3 minutes away, you get a text message. You walk outside, the passenger window opens, and your bag is in the front seat. You grab your bag, and you've now got your Z-Pack to combat your cold. Pretty amazing stuff. And imagine flying from Tokyo to LA in a jet and then taking a driverless cab from the airport to your Hyperloop station. Pretty awesome. If Elon makes the electric jet, it's going to be a complete Elon transportation world, which would be pretty cool. So meet George Jetson. It's going to be an amazing future. Thanks to our friends at Bing, and they make some great product over there. Go check out bing.com/new to see all the new products, and go to launch.co to see the launch ticker, where we have researchers every day reading all the tech news and then summarizing it really succinctly, so you don't have to read 100 different tech blogs. You just get one email a day with 30, 40, 50 stories summarized for you. This is how I've saved a lot of time and become a lot more informed so that I could actually do these videos for you. And you can follow me. I'm @Jason on Twitter. We'll see you next time. Thanks again, Bing.